Hello students. Today is the part third of unit 1. You know very well that in the previous class you have studied 5 topics of the same unit. Which are those topics? You studied the prefixes used in SI system. You also studied 3 different scales of temperature. You learned about derived quantities and their SI units. Then we studied dimensional analysis, and we ended the class with scientific notation and various mathematical operations performed using it. In today's class, we are going to study some more concepts of chemistry. Let us begin with precision and accuracy. What is precision? Precision is closeness of various measurements of a given quantity. That is, for a given quantity, if you perform many measurements, you get many different values. ಒಂದು ಪರಿಮಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅಳತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೆಲೆಗಳು ಸಿಗುತ್ತವೆ. If these values or if these measurements match with each other, ಆ ಬೆಲೆಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ, we say they are precise. ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದರೆ, we say they are not precise. Coming to accuracy. Accuracy is agreement of a particular value of a measurement to the true value of the result. See, in precision, you compare different values of the same quantity or different measurements of the same quantity. But in accuracy, you compare one value with its true value or ನೈಜ ಬೆಲೆ. ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿಯ ನೈಜ ಬೆಲೆ ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಬೆಲೆ, ಇದೆರಡನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆರ್ ಇಫ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಆ ಎರಡು ಬೆಲೆಗಳು ಪರಸ್ಪರ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆಯಾದರೆ, ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಸೇ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ accurate. If the measured value is totally different from the true value, ನೈಜ ಬೆಲೆಗಿಂತ ತುಂಬಾ ಭಿನ್ನವಾದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಬೆಲೆ, ಆಗ we say that your value is not accurate. This can be well illustrated by taking an example. You consider this board. The length of the board is, say, 2 meters. So let us assume that the length of the board is 2 meters. So in our example, the true value is 2 meters. We are considering the length of the board. Say its length is 2 meters. So what is the true value? It is 2 meters. Now, I'll ask 4 students A, B, C and D to measure the length of this board. and each student is permitted to do 2 measurements. So trial 1 and trial 2. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ 2 ಟ್ರಯಲ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. Student A, say he measures the length of the board as 1.9 meter in the first trial and 2.1 meter in the second trial. So these are the values measured by student A. So what will be the average value? Average value of these two is 2 meter or 2.0 meter. Now look at the measured values. They are close enough. ತುಂಬಾ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಳ ನಡುವೆ. So my conclusion is measured values are precise or there is precision. Precision ಇದೆ. Measured valueಗಳು ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆಯಾಗುತ್ತಿವೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ. What about accuracy? Accuracy ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ you have to take the average value and compare it with the true value. Both of them exactly match with each other. So there is accuracy also. Coming to second student, student B, say he measures the length of the board in the first trial as 1.5 meter and in the second trial 2.5 meter, average being 2 meter. ಇದೆರಡರ ಸರಾಸರಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡರೆ you get 2 meter. Now it is very clear that between these two values there is lots of difference. 1 ಮೀಟರ್ನಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ precision ಇಲ್ಲ. Measured values ಭಿನ್ನವಾಗಿವೆ. There is no precision. But average value ಅನ್ನು true value ಜೊತೆಗೆ match ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ you see that they match with each other. So there is accuracy. So precision is not there, but there is accuracy. Coming to student C. In trial 1, student C measures the length of the board as 1.0 meter. Say. And in trial 2, he measures the length of the board as 1.2 meter. 1 meter and 1.2 meter. What is the average? Average is 1.1 meter. What about the measured values? Are they close enough? Answer is yes. They are close enough. ತಕ್ಕ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹತ್ತಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. So there is precision. Precision ಇದೆ. But average value and true value, they do not match. ಈ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಳ ನಡುವೆ agreement ಇಲ್ಲ. So accuracy is not there. Coming to student D, say he measures the length of the board as 1.0 meter in one trial and in the second trial, say he measures it as 1.6 meter. Average ಅಥವಾ ಸರಾಸರಿ 1.3 meter ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ತುಂಬಾ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. 0.6 ಮೀಟರ್ನಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಿಸಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆವರೇಜ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರೂ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇವುಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಕೂಡ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ accuracy ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. So this is an example which illustrates precision and accuracy. Now let us take up one more term, in fact one more basic concept of chemistry. which helps you in analyzing experimental results. ಪ್ರಯೋಗದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥೈಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಟರ್ಮ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So which is that term? That term is something called significant figures. First, I'll take up an example and then I'll give you the definition of this. Suppose you have two weighing machines, machine 1 and machine 2. When you measure your weight using the first machine, say it gives you 45 kg as your weight. That is, this machine is measuring your weight up to 2 digits. There are 2 digits in the value. One is 4, the other is 5. Out of these 2 digits, the first digit, that is this digit, is certain digit. ನಿಮ್ಮ weight 40 plus ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಖಡಾಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. 40 kg ಅಂತೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್, ದ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ 5 ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಸರ್ಟನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ 5 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ a very small amount of error, plus ಅಥವಾ -1 ಎರರ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಹುದು. ನೀವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ 45 kg ಯ ಬದಲಿಗೆ 44.9 ಅಥವಾ 45.1 ವೇಟ್ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಆದರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಸರ್ಟನ್, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. Coming to the next machine. When you make use of the second machine to measure your weight, say it gives your weight as 45.1 kg. Second machine is more efficient. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ weight ಅನ್ನ 2 ಅಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಿಗೆ 3 ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಗಳ ತನಕ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲದು. So what is your weight? Using second machine, it is 45.1 kg. So ಈಗ 4 and 5, these 2 digits are certain. ನಿಮ್ಮ weight 45 plus ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Here you had a doubt. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಈ machine ನಿಂದ weigh ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ it is very clear that your weight is 45 plus. ಆದರೆ ಈ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಇದೆ. there is a small element of doubt. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಥವಾ -1 ಅಷ್ಟು ಎರರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಆ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗೋದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಆರ್ ದ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಅದು ಕಡಿಮೆಯಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್? Significant figures are meaningful digits which are known with certainty. ನಮಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವ meaningful digits ಅಥವಾ ಅಂಕಿಗಳು. Of course, when I say with certainty, it includes, these digits include one last uncertain digit also. Significant figures are meaningful digits known with certainty. ಆದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೊನೆಯ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. This is the uncertain digit here and this is the uncertain digit here. So that digit is also included in the significant figures. So let me again define significant figures. They are the meaningful digits known with certainty. But remember, the last digit which has some uncertainty in it is also a part of it. So, how many significant figures are there in my example 1? There are 2. And how many significant figures are there in my example 2? There are 3. Okay. Actually, there are some rules which help you in finding out the number of significant figures. Every time it is not very easy to find out the significant figures. So we have to follow rules. Now let us see those rules one by one. First rule says, in your number, if you have non-zero digits, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ಅಂಕಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಝೀರೋ ಅಲ್ಲದ್ದು ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ, non-zero digits, then they are all significant. ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, non-zero digits ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Once again, I'll give you an example. Say you have 58,685. So this number, it has all non-zero digits. How many are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of them are significant, and the number of significant figures here are 5. Coming to the second rule. What if there are zeros? ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ zeros ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟಾ? ಯಾವ ಬಗೆಯ zeros ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If your zeros are left side zeros, ನಿಮ್ಮ zeros, ನಂಬರ್ನ zeros ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, you have 3 zeros on the left side of the first digit. So left side zeros ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. In that case, those zeros are not significant. ಈ ಝೀರೋಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. They are not significant. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ how many significant figures are there? Zeros are not included. Only these 2 digits are included. So significant figures are only 2. Zeros are not included. So this is about the left side zeros. If the zeros come in the middle of the number, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ zeros middle ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ, ಆಗ they are significant. They are considered. Which is the example? As an example, I'll take this number it has got two zeros in the middle. These are those two zeros. So these zeros are significant. So what is the total number of significant figures? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Significant figures are 6. So this is about the first three rules. Rule 1 talks about non-zero digits. Rule 2 talks about left side zeros. They are not significant. Rule 3 talks about middle zeros. They are significant. Now, what about the right side zeros? Zeros ಬಲಬದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? For right side zeros, you have two rules. If the zeros are at right and if there is a decimal point in your number, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಝೀರೋ ಬಲಬದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, then they are significant. ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕಾಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಬಲಬದಿಯ ಝೀರೋಗಳು ಇದ್ದು, ಬಲಬದಿಯ ಸೊನ್ನೆಗಳು ಇದ್ದು, ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದರೆ, if your number doesn't contain decimal point, then the zeros are not significant. Coming to examples, 100.0, it has got right side zeros and there is a decimal point. Right side zeros ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು decimal point ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. So all these zeros are significant. One is anyhow significant. So totally significant figures become 4. Example for rule 5, let me consider 100. There are right side zeros, but there is no decimal point. That is why these zeros are not significant. Only this one is significant. So the significant figures become 1. So you should be careful when you see right side zeros. If there is point, they are significant. If there is no decimal point, they are not significant. Coming to the next rule, which talks about exponential term in scientific notation. ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ scientific notation ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, example 6.022 into 10 power 23, a well known number written in scientific notation. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ exponential term ಅಂದರೆ 10 in a power. Exponential term means 10 power. So this particular term is not significant. Only the number is significant. Exponential term ಅಥವಾ 10 power is not significant. Only the remaining number is significant. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು significant figures ಇದೆ ಈ notation ನಲ್ಲಿ? There are 1, this is a middle zero, so it is significant. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Total number of significant figures are 4. This is not considered. Coming to the last rule. Last rule is about counting or counted numbers. What are counted numbers? Counted numbers are not measured values. They will not have any unit ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ examples ಅಲ್ಲಿ most of the examples that we took are measured values, remember. But counted numbers ಅಂದರೆ example 20 balls, 100 say apples, okay, they'll not have any unit. They are got after counting the objects. Objects ಅನ್ನ ಎಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಬೆಲೆಗಳು ಇವು. ಸೊ ಅಂತ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ significant figures in counted numbers. Now why it is so? The reason is, if you consider a counted number, say 10 balls, how much ever trials you do, ಎಷ್ಟೇ trials ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು, you will get the answer as 10. And this is very much certain. ಈ 10 ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ 10 ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಕಾರಣ 10.000 ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಝೀರೋಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಬರೆಯಬಹುದು. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಗಳು ಆಗ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಗಳೇ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕೌಂಟ್ ದ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ನೌ, it will be infinity. Since infinite number of zeros can be written, significant figures here will be infinite. So remember, measurement inalli matra uncertainty ಅನ್ನುವ ಪದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನ್ಟಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. All the digits will be certain. That is why significant figures also will be infinite. So this was about rules to find out significant figures. Now let us perform some mathematical operations on these significant figures. Scientific notation nalli madida hage illi kuda mathematical operations annu maduva. First let us see addition and subtraction. What was the rule that you followed when you did addition and subtraction in scientific notation? The rule was 10 powers should be made common. But here there is a different rule. I'll explain it by taking an example of addition. So you consider three numbers, say 1.03, 2.12 and 0.3. You have to do addition of these three numbers by considering significant figures. How do you do it? The first step here is to note that number which has least number of digits after the decimal point. ಈ ಮೂರು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ನಂಬರ್ಗೆ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿನ ನಂತರ ಅತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂಕಿಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. In this number there are 2 digits after the point. Here also there are 2 digits after the point. But in this example there is only 1 digit after the point. So this is the number to be noted or this is the number to be marked. ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ number ಇದು. So which is the first step? First step is marking. Marking the number which has least number of digits after the decimal point. Now once you mark it, in the second step you do the usual addition. ಇನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ addition ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ. So after addition I get 5 here, 4 here and 3 here. So second step is to perform addition. Then in the last step what you have to do is you should see that the result also has the same number of digits present in this number, that is after the decimal point. ಒಮ್ಮೆ addition ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ನೀವು result ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂಬರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಷ್ಟೇ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುವ ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. of course after the point, ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿನ ನಂತರ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಈಗ here there are 2 digits after the point. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂತರ 2 ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂಬರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನ ನಂತರ ಒಂದೇ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ 1? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಡಿಜಿಟ್? ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ another concept, another basic concept of chemistry, that is rounding off the digits or rounding off the numbers. Okay, so first let us see this concept and then I'll come back to my addition problem. Let us recollect once the steps. First step is marking the number that has least number of digits after the point. Second step is addition, and last step is seeing that the result also has the same number of digits after the point as in the marked number. Marked number nalli iruvaste digits idaralli result nalli kuda point ina nantara irabeku. So for this we are seeing a sub concept, that is rounding off the numbers. Here also we follow certain rules. ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಗೆ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ರೂಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1, if the number has last digit less than 5, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನೆಯ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ 5ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸಣ್ಣದಿದ್ದರೆ ಆಗ ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನು, ಆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇಡಬೇಕು. ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಡಿಜಿಟ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್, should be retained. So if the last digit is less than 5, the previous digit should be kept as such. It should be retained. Example, you have 6.83. Last digit is 3. It is less than 5. That is why previous digit, that is 8, has to be kept as such. ಈ 8 ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ಇಡಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡಿ, 8 ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ಇಡಿ. Okay, so this is your rule 1. Second rule, if the last digit is greater than 5, first rule on last digit less than 5, and the second rule is on last digit greater than 5. In such a case, the previous digit should be increased by 1. ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದನ್ನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗೆ ಇಡುವುದಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ 1. I'll take example. Imagine I have 3.86. Look at the last digit. It is greater than 5. So, previous digit should be added 1. ಈ previous digit ಗೆ 1 ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು. So, it becomes 3.9. Of course, last digit ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡಿ, previous digit ಗೆ 1 ಸೇರಿಸಿ, you get 3.9. Coming to the third rule. What if the last digit is equal to 5? Last digit less than 5, previous digit retained. Last digit greater than 5, previous digit increased. By how much? By 1. But if at all the last digit is exactly equal to 5, then you have 2 sub rules. ಎರಡು sub rules ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ previous digit even ಆದರೆ, last digit 5 ಇರಬೇಕು. Okay, there is no compromise. Last digit 5 ಇದ್ದು previous digit ಸಮ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಾದರೆ, even number ಆದರೆ, ಆಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. You keep it as such. It is retained. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ previous digit odd ಆದರೆ, last digit should be 5. Okay, this even odd game doesn't apply here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ apply ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. Last digit 5 ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ. So previous digit odd ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 ಸೇರಿಸಿ. even ಇದ್ದರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. odd ಇದ್ದರೆ you add plus 1. That is, you make it even. Okay, let us see examples. For A, this is the example. Say I have 12.25. Okay, 12.25. Last digit ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? It is equal to 5. Look at the previous digit. It is even. Last digit 5ಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮವಾಗಿದೆ. Previous digit ಸಮ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. So you have to keep the previous digit as such. Then example for B. Let me take 18.75. Okay, 18.75. Again, last digit 5ಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದರ previous digit odd number ಆಗಿದೆ. It is odd, ಬೆಸ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ. So what you will do? You make it even. ಒಂದನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಮ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. 18.7 ಇದ್ದದ್ದು 18.8. Okay, so that was about rounding of the numbers. Quickly recollect the rules. Last digit less than 5, previous digit retained. Last digit greater than 5, previous digit added plus 1. Last digit equal to 5 and previous digit is even, then keep it as such. If the previous digit is odd, increase it by 1. So after seeing this sub concept, now I'll come back to my sum. So now how do you round off the result in the given problem? Result anna hege round off ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? So I want only this digit, not this. Is it not? Marked number has one digit after the point. So idarallu ade tara agabeku. Now I'll look at the last digit. Last digit is equal to 5. That is rule number 3. So equal to 5 ಆದಾಗ previous digit ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಅದು ಸಮ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. It is even. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, keep it as such. ಈ 4 ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಡಿ. So the result of this addition is 3.4 after rounding of the number. Okay, so similarly you can also perform subtraction. Now coming to multiplication and division of significant figures. Here the rule is slightly different. Again, I will take one example and explain it to you. Let me take the example of a multiplication wherein I will multiply 1.1 by say 2. 1.1 is multiplied by 2. What is the first step? First step is marking the number. But now the number should have least number of significant figures in it. In this case, you consider least number of digits, not the significant figures. Least number of digits after the decimal point. But in this case, you are considering the whole number. Decimal point na nantaraddu matra alla, idi number anna nodi, ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್, whereas here the whole number has to be considered. Okay, so in this case there are two significant figures, whereas in this case there is only one significant figure. Bari ಒಂದು significant figure ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು significant figures ಇದೆ. So which is the least number of significant figure? It is this. Mark this number. Okay, your first step is done. Mark the number with least number of significant figures. And in the second step, you perform multiplication. ನಿಮ್ಮ common ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ multiplication ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ. What will be the answer? Answer will be 2.2. Is it not? When you multiply, you get this answer. Now, the last step is the result that you got should also contain same number of significant figures as in the marked number. Marked number nalli ಎಷ್ಟು significant figures ittu? It was 1. So ಅಷ್ಟೇ significant figures ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So how do you round off now? ಹೇಗೆ round off ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? This is the last digit. The last digit is less than 5. 5ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸಣ್ಣದಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ previous digit ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಬೇಡಿ. So answer of this multiplication will be just 2 after rounding off the last digit. Now you can see that significant figures in the result is only 1. Marked number na hage idaralli kuda significant figures ಒಂದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದೆ. Okay, so what is the important difference between the rules? The difference is here you need to consider the part after decimal point. Here you need to consider the entire number. Least number of digits after the point are considered here, whereas here least number of significant figures in the entire number are considered. Okay, so with this, let us conclude today's class. Let us recollect once all the things that are studied in today's class. We started with precision and accuracy. Then we studied significant figures and the various operations performed by considering them. Also, we saw rounding of the number.